All right, hey guys, I'm working on a mannequin. I'm going to add form and structure to, and contour lines and the shadows and everything. It's still a quick sketch. It's not going to be perfect. Could be even kind of fugly. Who knows? We'll see. But I am going to start with that basic mannequin that I showed in the first tutorial using Loomis as a structure, and we'll layer in all the various forms to see if we can catch this pose with the process. All right, let's see how it goes. Oh, I had to practice. I've been practicing all morning just for this video to try to. I'm out of practice. This is a skill set that requires constant attention. It's a perishable skill. So if you're not using it on a daily basis, to some degree, some small degree every day, 15 minutes every day, it's going to be a problem. You'll have to start, at some point along the way again. So I feel fairly tuned up because I did practice this morning, but it could still go horribly, horribly wrong. So let's see how this goes, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed. So, all right, here we go. All right, I have this female figure, and she is kind of in this nice rhythm line right down to the ground. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. I'm going to start with that Loomis head right up here, keeping in mind that whole notion of, I'm going to throw that there a little more like that. All right, her front of her face is at about that angle, maybe a little more. I'm going to get that chin right there. All right, I've got her kind of established right now. All right, boom, boom. She's looking down, her nose is pointing down, and I'm just going to put a little mouth right there. I don't care. It's not going to look like the expression she has in the photo, but that's okay. And then some closed eyes right there. All right, so let's get this. We're going to find that S shape right down through the pose, right down to the ground, right probably about there. All right. Now, I didn't do this in the previous video. Frankly, I forgot about it, but I've been using actually the exact thing that Loomis does in his book. I'm going to find the hip in about right in this zone right here. I'm going to throw that elliptical shape for the hip, and this hip is up. So we'll throw this one higher in an elliptical shape like that. All right, her shoulders are fairly level with a slight upward direction right here. And I'm just going to kind of block in this shape, and then we'll find that arc. There's the center portion of her torso, and it comes down. Okay. Throw the pivot point for the leg right here, and this leg is bearing the weight, this left leg. So we're going to pull it down, knees right there, pull it down, and then she's on her tippy toes, so I'm going to get that shape right there, and then we'll bend that around. All right, so this other leg is coming in. It drops below the front knee right here, about right there, and bends around. And she also, this toe, this plane is going to be about right in here. There's a bend to it. We'll just break that bend in there, and then get the heel. All right, so we already got the hips in the right position. We got the feet roughly in the right position, and the ankles right there, shoulders. All right, I'm going to just throw a little sphere for her shoulder, and I'm looking relative position. If her hips are about right here, that elbow is going to be about right there. So we'll just pull it out, and then we'll get the other. That's about right. And then we'll get the plane of that hand. Get the plane, and then we'll throw in the thumb triangle. This elbow, the breasts are going to be about right in here, and her elbow is going to be just below, about right there. Pull that down, pull it out, and then the palm of the hand is about right like that. So there is the mannequin right from the start. We'll throw the coat hanger in there, and we're ready to go to town. First thing, and this is another little way of defining the torso as well is just think of it as a bean. So we can also just kind of think, and she's got a kind of a wrapping right there. So you can almost get the form of her torso like that. I'm going to come in, and it's going to come in and out around along the hip right there. The crotch area and the bathing suit wraps around right in there. All right, and then we get the leg. And again, think of these as cylinders. You know, all of your limbs are essentially cylinders that taper and maybe bulge here in spots. So we're just essentially trying to get a cylinder on top of the mannequin that follows some of those intricate contours and stuff. All right, we're going to bring that leg out. I'm going to put the knee. The knee is going to have a nice curving bend down to the front part of this foot. It transitions, has a little bump right there, becomes the front of the foot. All right, so transitions over, comes right up along right there. We got a little bit of a bump right there, comes down right along. The knee is happening right in here. All right, and then we'll get that nice calf, comes down, right down, comes into the shape. Got a little too thin. There we go. And then we're going to catch that foot right there. So we'll just throw. I like to just essentially drop in the little toes and bring it back around for the heel. That's one fugly looking foot, but that's all right. This is a sketch. We'll fix all of it as we go. All right, so we do have a good angle on that hip. I'm going to pull this right down. We get the ankle bone right there, comes out to that heel, and then comes around to, again, we'll throw those little toes in. Got kind of a bend right there, and then it comes back up. All right, now we can start bending this up, and we're going to catch that curve to the calf, lead right up to the knee, and right up to the thigh. All right, so we are coming along. So far, so good. I'm going to throw a little shadow in there. That toe's going to stay. There we go. This foot, this whole plane is in shadow. I just need to put a couple of toe definitions right there, and then I would just bring that up, pull it up, color it up. All right, so we got a pretty good start on the lower half of the body. Throw the shadow in, never hurts to throw a little grounding shadow. And then the front part of her thigh comes right down along the knee. All right, and then the torso's got a twist to it. All right, and from right here, from this shoulder, I'm going to drop that jersey top right like that. It comes down around to the back side of the form and comes around and follows the contour of the breast right in like that. And this is a form transitioning from an edge and coming into the body right there. And the cloth kind of bridges right there, and you're going to catch the other breast right there. And there's just really kind of a highlight there. The rest of it's kind of in shadow. All right, we got the belly button, and that shadow all wraps around in and around that form. And we even have some stretch to the fabric. And I'm going to beef up that contour edge right there. All right, now we have a little more to work with on the figure. I'm going to pull this shoulder out just a little bit more, maybe not quite that much, but right there, and we'll pull it down. It hits the elbow in that area, comes out a little bit, bulges out, comes back down right to the palm of the hand. And what I'm seeing right there is essentially the thumb, and it becomes that shape. We'll throw a finger in here, just a shape. We'll throw another shape right there. Throw the other. Yep, we got the palm of the hand right there. There we go. All right, so, and then we'll throw that right up underneath, and we got all that nice shadow, and you got that nice whole arm really kind of in shadow right there. We'll catch a shadow along the front side of the breast right there. It really becomes about capturing where the shadows happen. All right, now let's get this one. Let's say this shoulder comes out and around quite a ways. It does come down, and we start bending out and again and heading back down to where the wrist is. I'm going to get a little about right there. This one is going to do more of a straight line, bulges out a little bit, and then again comes down to where the wrist is. And we'll just pop that in there, and then we'll pop the thumb in and get the rest of the shapes. All right. Here's the thumb. Oh, I don't have the thumb in the right place, but it's close enough. And we'll do that. Throw that in there. All right, so that's looking pretty good. I'll give her a little more form right there. Pull it on up that way. All right, now it's starting to sing. All right, how are we doing here? All right, I got a few more minutes. We're going to pull this together. All right, right there off of the ear. Her ear is going to be about right there. And right off of the ear, the neck is going to come right down into the form, and you kind of have that kind of a column connection right in there. Her trapezius, I think that's trapezius, happening right there. We got a shadow kind of coming across. We'll just throw that in there. This whole front of her torso, top of upper torso is in shadow. Her whole face as well. You got a good shadow along the nose. You got the Rembrandt highlight right there. All right, and then let's just throw in a little hair, and I think we can call this sketch completed. And I'm almost at the limit of the normal time span I give a student when we're starting to do this is about a 15-minute window to try to get a mannequin built and a torso and a person attached to it. So, all right, so there we go. Kind of a quick overview of how to do it. And we have roughly captured the pose. It's not 100% accurate, but the idea is to capture the intent, the overall view, angles, attitude, weight, and and hopefully some proportion, right? So I'm not spot on, but hey, it took me all morning to practice to be able to do that right now, right here. So get your pencils sharpened and get busy, practice, get a bunch of pictures of different poses, male, female, standing, action poses, and reclined and start applying this process and refine your hand, refine your eye, get your hand-eye coordination working together, and you'll be doing this, and it's going to look good pretty quick. So just dedicate yourself a certain amount of time, half hour, 15 minutes every day, draw a doodle. If you're in meetings, you know, you're listening to somebody, you're watching TV, just have a pen and pencil, a couple pictures, and practice your figures. Don't worry, you're not making art yet, right? You're just learning how to construct the form and the human form, in that you can do it through drawing, and you'll be able to really utilize this knowledge when you start dropping figures into your watercolors. And that really does help your watercolors. Adding a figure into a landscape, into a scene, a city scene, it just helps to establish a story that a viewer will be interested in looking at. So, all right, practice this. Let me know how it goes. And if you've gotten any value out of this, this is my broken record. If you've gotten any value out of this, please give me a like and a subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video.